Welcome to What in the Anime, your weekly anime podcast. Now, here's your host in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome. It is Dustin, and with me, as always, I have Tyler on this very, very hot weekend. It is scorching out, 100 degrees, feel like we're dying. Tyler, I saw him walking out in the hot sun, and I decided you can walk, and I just left.
Yeah, no, I was discovering the wilderness outside. No, me and my girlfriend decided to take a 4-mile walk to be a little bit healthy and get out. Didn't realize it was like 100 degrees. And actually, it's kind of funny because we met Dustin we're walking and we're going to the splash park that we have. And I've never been there, but it's kind of close to my house. It's just 2 miles away. So we walk there and we're going to walk back. Well, on the way there, we're like, oh, we're getting snow cones, like, because they have a snow cone place there. And as we get there, we see Dustin. He just sees us sweating from like head to toe. I'm wearing a black shirt that says like "so over it." If you didn't read my shirt,
Yeah, I saw that.
And went there, walked there. It took us almost like 2 hours to get back. Just 100 degrees in the heat, and it sucked. I'm never doing that again. My body. I took a nice cold shower when I got back, but it's been kind of a long weekend. We did another podcast with Movie Night and the Boys earlier today, reviewing the movie Hustle. So we watched that this weekend. So that was a really good movie. You really liked it.
Oh yeah, any sports basketball movie, I like that. So this Thursday is when that one should drop on their channel, Movie Night with the Boys, part of the Geek Talk Network. But yeah, I think honestly, after watching that movie, it's probably my second favorite sports movie.
Movie?
Well, man, it might not be quite that high because I like Draft Day. I like Rudy. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, man, every time like you see like Remember the Titans come on, you kind of gotta watch that. Like you said, Draft Day is really good. I'm a huge like Keanu Reeves fan. I love that
The Replacements.
The Replacements. That's
Yeah.
one of my that's on Netflix now, so I've watched that a couple of times. That's always really good. And then besides that, yeah, the only other thing is we had a damn trade show in our hometown right now for the rodeo, and it is busy. There were softball tournaments and trade shows, and it was busy. But have you ever tried freeze-dried candy before?
No.
Yeah, I got freeze-dried candy. I got the Skittles. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It has like the casing around it, and it's freeze-dried, and it's really weird. It's really good. I have some Nerd Cluster ones too. I'll save those and I'll let you try it.
Yeah, I'll have to. That sounds actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was the only thing interesting at that trade show. Other than that, just a bunch of cowboy crap and
Only the candy.
yeah, a bunch of ropes, good for hanging in your closet and stuff. But
well, that got dark. That got really dark. Those aren't the kind of jokes you want to make.
I know. I was sitting there. I was like, man, this is a nice sturdy rope. Not good for roping cows, but
yeah. And let's get on to happy news and less away from Tyler's dark thoughts.
Yeah, so now that you're in the deep depths of my mind, I also have the updated reviews there too. So I guess we got our agenda and our news. For the agenda, like we have our news like we always do. We got today our segment. We're gonna have hopefully like a little bit shorter segments and during this podcast. We have the Boruto manga versus the Boruto anime. So we're gonna kind of see what the differences are, talk about why we like it, why we don't, stuff like that. And then we have a review of Skeleton Knight from Another World. So I believe we both finished that fairly easy this week. So
yeah, I'd say
it was a really easy one to finish.
It was. I finished that plus some.
Dustin decided to finally start binge watching a crap load of anime this weekend. So
yeah, I finished the next, not only today's, but also next week's and half of the week after that. I am already that far ahead, so I'm set.
Man, if we didn't have to do news every week, we could just record all of them.
Exactly, if you watched them.
Hey, I watch them. Don't give me that crap.
Well, I'm saying like it's not like you've watched that many, so it's like we couldn't record next week's.
Yeah, this guy turning his anime watch to like him doing really good business.
Yeah.
But after all that, after Skeleton, our next week, our updated review is Tomodachi Game. Dustin is crazy for that one. That one's on Crunchyroll, has 12 episodes, so that would be pretty good. And then we have Dawn of the Witch after that. That is also on Crunchyroll. A lot of these next ones are all going to be on Crunchyroll. So that one's also 12 episodes. I believe those are two of my picks, right?
Tomodachi Game is my pick. The Dawn of the Witch is yours. And then the
That's
next
right,
one was an unpicked, but since we dropped a couple of shows, this is a pickup.
Okay, so yeah, that pickup one is going to be Love After World Domination. 12 episodes, Crunchyroll, finished. All of them are done. So we can finally review them. That'll be kind of fun. So I don't know what that one is about. You're saying Tomodachi Game is just A+ material, so
Yeah, I really dig Tomodachi Game. I'll save most of it for the review next week, but for the listeners, if you like kind of like psychological warfare type of stuff, like if you watch Death Note and you really enjoyed the back and forth between Light and L, you get a lot of those same vibes for the first half of Tomodachi Game, and then the second half is still really similar in that aspect, but it's really good. I'm enjoying it. Well,
yeah,
enjoyed it. I finished it, so.
and that's kind of crazy. I'm gonna love it because me and my girlfriend, I think we finished Death Note in like less than a week.
Yeah, I
And
finished
so
Tomodachi Game in like a day and a half, so.
yeah, so it won't be that hard. Yeah, no, that's not a very like what I say popular set of reviews here these next few weeks, but hopefully this makes it to where you'll watch them and then they'll be, they become popular shows. So I'm really hopeful Skeleton Knight from Another World gets a couple more seasons. And
I do too, and I think you'll like the Dawn of the Witch more.
do it. Yeah. No, I'm excited for these next couple. Like
It's fun.
when you had like a lineup of like Cowboy Bebop and some of the other ones that we had, it's like, man, I gotta sit through this and try to get through it. But these ones are so easy to get through. Just 12 episodes.
Yep, it's nice, quick, easy binges, and they're all like kind of new. So, and I think these are all more up your alley anyway.
Right. So yeah, it looks like we got just a little bit of a news. Looks like we have some trailers that you guys can kind of watch, and just a couple of different updates on things. I know we did get an update. I don't know if we really want to talk about too much, but about the Yu-Gi-Oh creator, his
Oh,
they
yeah.
kind of came out. They came out and kind of talked about that. It was a cause of drowning.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, they got the autopsy back, and that's the only source like cause of death that they found was he drowned. Basically, he was out snorkeling, must have been by himself or something, and for whatever reason, he like you never know in those situations what could have happened. Like he could have had a cramp and couldn't tread
mhm.
water. He could have had any number of things, got exhausted, whatever. But either way, it's from drowning. He drowned, and that's what happened.
Yeah, one cause leads to another, so
Yep.
something had to have happened. It wasn't, it's
Yeah.
not like he was 60 and forgot how to swim. So
Yeah, that's why
hopefully,
I'm
I don't
leaning
know.
towards cramping, or he was out there too long and got tired or something.
I don't know. You never know with those things. So, well, with that, let's get into our news.
Okay, so everyone is probably sick of me bringing up this future anime, and I'm not going to stop. We got a
I am.
promo video for the Gundam Witch from Mercury, and so anyone that wants to, go ahead and go look it up. It is you get to see some cool Gundams, you get to see what the animation style looks like, you get to see the plasma swords, you get to see like a little bit of like flat, quick clips of a little bit of everything. It's only like 50 seconds long, but it was a good promo.
Yeah, Dustin's the only person in the world that is supporting this, and it keeps getting shows. But in reality, if you do go watch that video, it actually looks really cool. The characters look pretty sweet. I don't know why I just have never gotten into Gundam because like it should be kind of up my alley a little bit. And I've just never got into it, but this one doesn't look too bad. So I'm sure if Dustin puts on a review,
It
he'll be
will
really
be.
happy he'll be really happy for me to watch it. So
It's gonna be one of my picks. I'll tell you that much.
yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah. So, other than that, we have the Naruto 20-year anniversary is this October. So 20 years that Naruto has aired in like back in Japan. It was 20 years ago this October. So they're doing this like gallery celebration deal, and it's going to showcase a myriad of animation based visuals, including how the characters grew throughout the series, their bonds together as friends and enemies, as well as the battle that cast partook in, all using anime footage and art. There will also be new collaboration works screened at the event from video artists who are fans of Naruto. So It's just a big art and animation gallery celebrating 20 years of Naruto.
Yeah, no, I Dustin doesn't know this, but apparently we're going to Japan now.
Oh, are we?
No,
Who's
I wish.
it's the listeners buying our tickets? Because
Yeah,
I broke.
yeah, we'll start a GoFundMe. So no, I think it's kind of cool. I can't believe it's already 20 years, but I want to see like what kind of like memorabilia or what kind of stuff to come out for this kind of stuff. You know, I'm a huge collector, so that would be kind of cool to get something from like an event, not just from like an event that you can maybe get off of eBay or something like this, but they got to be selling some kind of stuff with their 20th anniversary, so that'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, yeah, it should be pretty interesting. I'm just curious to see what kind of cool images come out of it, like artwork and stuff like that,
Hmm.
because I'm always looking for like cool backgrounds to have, or like if they come out with
It
like cool posters or something, or
a- and the world of anime, like Naruto, has like one of the coolest like promotional like posters and like just the animation and everything they can do, and they have such a huge world to go off of and characters that like they can do so much with it. So it's really cool to see the stuff that they put out.
exactly.
You get like Demon Slayer, like you get like a Demon Slayer like card game or like I don't know. I feel like a My Hero. I feel like it's like so many that you can just choose from like you want. I feel like Naruto, there's a ton, and that's where Dragon Ball does good with like all their forms and stuff like that. There's so much that they can merchandise. You know, you want 30 forms, you want all 30 figures, stuff like that. You can make card games, you can make mobile games. That's why, you know, the Dragon Ball mobile games do really good. The Naruto ones used to do really good, but they don't really have one for that anymore.
No, they
Um,
had one that I was super excited about, and it was a big flop, and they already
it was
canceled it.
it was crap.
Yeah,
We got it like day one because
I'm
like
pretty
there's
sure
nothing
we
more
played the
fun.
beta.
Yeah, there's nothing like more fun than like sitting in your bed almost sometimes putting on some anime and then like playing one of your phone games and stuff like that. And there's not really a cool gotcha games are kind of like I don't know. I'm kind of getting over them,
Yeah,
but there's no other you would think that yeah, like if Dokkan had like Naruto style, I think that would be really fun. Like if it was the same concept with just Naruto characters and animations and stuff, if they did something that was kind of cool like that, that'd be pretty fun. But other than that, we really don't have anything. But are you are you gonna kind of keep up to date with how this Naruto gallery comes out and stuff? See what it
yeah,
looks like.
I'm gonna try to remember basically to keep up on the news on that because it doesn't even come out until October, so it's a few months away still. So we'll see if my memory stays intact enough to remember that.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, I think that's like this October is like the start of it, but I'm pretty sure their event is in like December.
Oh, is it?
So yeah, I'm pretty sure their event's in December till January or something like that at one of the buildings and
See, my
um
memory is already failing.
yeah,
Yep,
so
December 10th until January 31st. You're right.
yes. Yeah, so what I see some Nintendo news.
Yeah, so Nintendo is to buy CG animation studio Dynamo Pictures, and they're going to be switching their name once the acquisition happens to Nintendo Pictures. Now, some of you might be like, Dynamo Pictures, who the heck is that? So, who they are is they do a lot of the modeling for some animated movies and stuff like that. So, Dynamo Pictures helped with the EVA models in Evangelion 2.0 and Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.1 or 1.0. And they also did some of the stuff in Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train movie. So
Right.
they are a really, really good like CGI studio. The crazy thing is, Nintendo bought an entire studio and is rebranding their name and everything for only $245,000 US. That's
Yeah, I
all it
see
cost
that's
them.
34.5 million yen. So that is crazy cheap for them. But I hopefully that kind of changes things for them a little bit. I don't
Yep.
know. I Nintendo I feel like is the only thing I'm getting into lately, other than we just finally got back into like Fall Guys because we can just kind of goof around with that.
Right.
Um, but we kind of stopped playing Apex there for a little bit. I'm sure once we always get back into the new season when that starts. And then Mario Strikers is really fun, but that only problem with that is it's like every other week their season for competitive starts and ends, and it's kind of annoying to keep up to date because I don't know. And I feel like the people you're playing, you don't really progress very far. Like you can only go
Right.
like we have a club in or like a division, and you have to get like first year division in order to rank up. But like nobody in that division is playing because you're in a select few of people, so it's kind of annoying.
We play like
But
2 or 3 games and we pass.
yeah, dude, I can't get. I keep getting spoilers and other things for like the new Pokemon game. I'm so freaking stoked for that game.
See, I haven't seen really any spoilers. I saw a couple of like what some of the Pokemon look like, and some people have like talked bad on them. But my boy Lechonk, I want that Pokemon so bad.
It looks like he's gonna have like the gender evolution. So like the girl will have like the lipstick and then the boy will
Oh
have
yeah.
something else. Maybe maybe we'll have tusks or something. I don't know what he'll have. But yeah, there's a lot of different things. There's semi pictures of like the evolutions of the starters, and there's a bunch of leaks you can find on YouTube that some people are doing. But it looks like it's a crazy game. It's something about the new legendaries have like 5 different forms. You can ride and battle at the same time with them, and just some random stuff. Yeah, and
Okay.
so yeah, there's also some things about like you can almost fight any gym at any time,
Oh, that'd
and
be weird. I
so
wonder if like the levels depend on which order.
see, and there is some leaks saying that like the levels don't change. So like, but that wouldn't make any sense. So
Yeah, I feel
hopefully,
like they'd have to change so that way you could go in any order. Otherwise, it's like you're gonna wait till level 80 or 60 or whatever,
to fight the
fight the
first
eighth,
badge.
and then go all the way back to the first after you fight the eighth.
Yeah, so hopefully Nintendo does. They'll do a good job with it. At least the Pokemon franchise. I mean, their games are probably the most replayable games ever made.
Oh yeah.
That isn't like a battle royale. So, um, I'm kind of excited for that. We're due for a new Pokemon game, some new generations. The nerd in me is extremely excited because all that means is new Pokemon cards. I mean, new Pokemon that I'll like. I did find out Gudra will be in the new series. Like he'll be actually in the regional Pokédex, and I
Okay.
love Gudra. And he wasn't in like I don't. He was very hard to find in a lot of the other games. So
Yeah, I believe he was in Sword and Shield, but it's like it was one of those like you have to find him in certain weather and all this other crap to
yeah,
get him.
yeah. I always had a wonder trade for him.
There you go. Well,
So
getting back into the news, we have a we got our first reveal of the cast and a teaser promo for a anime that's being premiered in 2023 called Spy Room? Yeah, Spy
yeah,
Room.
just Spy Room. Yeah, I watched the trailer, but I mean, it's all in Japanese and no
You can turn on
subtitles.
the closed caption.
Can you?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
did it.
it it looks all right. We'll see. I'm sure will be something we review later, but
Yeah, so
I
when
don't.
I was just watching it just in the Japanese, I was kind of like confused, like
Mhm.
basically trying to fill in the lines because I don't know no Japanese. But
Oh,
when I
really?
turned on the closed caption, yeah, really, turned on the closed caption, and you could actually see what they're saying. It's literally like they're a bunch of like high profile like spies being trained in a class. So like I think it could be pretty fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
It makes me think of like Assassination Classroom, only there's not a big yellow squid in it.
Yeah.
And then other than that, we also got a trailer. This one, the closed captioning did not work on, called oh man, it
The
is
tunnel, the summer exit of goodbye.
yep, long name. Anyways, it
Yeah.
is kind of in the same vein as Weathering with You and Your Name. And I looked up a little bit of like the synopsis of it and kind of what it's about. And so basically, there is this tunnel that can control space and time. Like it has very weird effects, but the problem with it is if you abuse it or use this space time to go back and forth, it will take years off of your own life.
Yep.
So it has like
You
a
abuse
really
it,
bad side effect.
you abuse it, you lose it.
Yeah, and so it's following this guy, and I think like the main thing of it is he's trying to save his sister who he lost in an accident 5 years prior. Like she died in an accident, and then a girl from his school follows him and finds the tunnel with him. So it turns into, I'm guessing, like kind of like a love story, like Your Name and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's the premise of it: is this tunnel can take years off your life, but he is like probably willing to try to do this to try to save his sister who had died. So sounds like it'd
I
be pretty
don't,
interesting.
I'm a huge fan of those style of movies now. So
Yeah, and that airs in Japan in theaters on September 9th.
not too far. So
Nope.
cool to be able to see that soon. I wonder when it'll actually come out. But will be though. I like how like streaming services and stuff, everything kind of comes out really quick. So
Yeah.
that's why we're not even like not even anime, but like that's why we're gonna wait to go see Thor just because it had such a huge decline in numbers and like everything else. So we're
You're
just
not gonna go see it?
no, because I was like, man, because if I go see it, it's gonna be $10 a piece, and then we're gonna each get a popcorn. I'm gonna get some milk duds, throw in my popcorn, and then I'm gonna get a drink, and then I'm like $80 down the hole just to go see Thor. And you guys have made it to where I'm not that excited to go watch it. So
I'm sorry, like there's a chance you may like it, but yeah, it goes to Disney Plus within 45 days of the first day that it hit theaters. So yeah, I think we're already over 14 days in.
yeah, I think then that's what I'm gonna do lately, unless it's super hyped. I'm just gonna kind of wait for it to come out. And I don't know. I just feel Phase 4 isn't going too smooth,
Getting a little bit
and
of Marvel fatigue, honestly, and there's no like cohesive like plan. It feels like.
yeah, I think the superhero movies need some kind of jump start. They need
Mhm.
something to get. I mean, they're always gonna make good money, but after you go for so long, the hype you can only hype it up so much, so many different times.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, yeah, I'm excited to see this new Aquaman movie, but there's just been so much crap with the Justice League getting changed and like I
the
don't know.
Flash
It just
guy getting in trouble,
yeah,
and
you get the
yeah,
Flash, you never know who's gonna be who's ever gonna be Batman. You just I don't know. I'm excited to see those movies because DC's done a good job with their movies lately. Um, but and even in the Marvel, it's just what they're gonna do next. You know, if they flopped with Thor, hopefully they don't flop with Guardians of the Galaxy because it's kind of the same comedy style. And
yeah.
so if the comedy flop there, that's what I'm nervous about.
See, I don't think
Um,
we'll have that issue with Guardians because that's kind of like what it was already established as, and you got that ensemble, and it's still the same director that's done the previous two.
Yeah,
So
but you
I
get you
feel like
get
that one will
Drax.
be good.
You get Batista who plays Drax. He's doing his last movie. He doesn't want to do it again. And so it's like how are things going to change? How is Chris Pratt going to go into a third and then like a fourth or whatever Phase 4 goes for them after him kind of screwing up the world there for a little bit.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's outside of the anime, but
We
that was
always
kind of our
seem to get
news.
off topic on the superheroes on the show.
It's fine. We're just here to bullshit and chat. So, I mean, hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys just don't skip ahead. So,
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we hop into our Boruto topic that some people may try to turn off.
yeah, the other thing I was gonna say too is if you guys can start trying to send us some messages on Twitter or Instagram or email us, um, give us some topics that you guys want, some debates that you guys uh are like have been like wanting to hear for a while and just haven't heard it yet. So we just want to hear from you guys. Give us questions that we can put in. We can literally answer any questions. I think that'd be kind of fun to start getting some people involved. Like I said, we've been getting other like podcasts in here and finding new people and meeting new people, and it's been crazy. We're getting pretty good we get really good downloads and community for that. So that's kind of the cool thing that we've been seeing. So
Yeah, for sure. But yeah,
but
don't
Boruto.
don't skip this Boruto one. As much as some of you might try to hate on Boruto or listen, just give us a chance. We're going to talk a little bit the anime. Me and Tyler are both current on the manga. I believe Tyler's current.
I might be like a month or two behind on it. Like it comes out once a month if nobody knows, and they usually have like 45 pages. But I was pretty up to date on it. I
Yep.
may catch up here this week, but
Yeah, I
I
just
should still
checked
be able to.
and I am current, and the new one drops in like by the time you're listening to this recording, it might be dropped the newest chapter.
Okay.
It's like around the 20th every single month. But so first off, I wanted to talk about I found some articles, and the first one I got is in 2020 they did a most popular anime based off of countries, and as much hate as I feel like Boruto seems to get in America at least, it is the most popular anime in 32 countries and territories.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it's number 3 overall in 2020. The only ones that it was behind in was Black Clover, which had 39, and then Jujutsu Kaisen, which had a massive 55 countries, which is
Yeah, that's pretty
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, and maybe in 2020 with Boruto coming out, I can't remember what year exactly came out, but with Boruto coming out, I'm sure it had that Naruto hype to start off with, so it'd be kind of cool to see what it does now. But I don't know, to have that hype, I don't know. I guess was it more? That was just more the anime that had that hype, right?
Yep, yeah, that
Not
was all
necessarily the
based
manga.
off of that was Crunchyroll's numbers for like what they
Okay.
see through what people are watching on their site. So in January of
Hmm.
2021, they released the 2020 basically map of what countries watched the most, and in 32
Right.
countries, Boruto was watched the most.
Yeah. So I think with Boruto, like him as a character, I know a lot of people were kind of annoyed with how his character was. Like if you're mad at him being annoying or boring, or I don't mind his character at all. I like how he progresses and they show like the different things that influence him
Yep.
and the things that happen helps build his character. And I understand the anime itself has so much filler in the beginning outside of like the Naruto Boruto movie. But I mean you get introduced to characters like Mitsuki. He's gonna be one of my one of my favorites. You get Shinki, he's pretty cool. I think a lot of people the most hate I've seen this anime get is what they do with the older generation. They
Okay.
don't do a very good job with all of the old main characters, and that's going to happen when you have a newer generation series continue off the old one. But I feel like a lot of people can't separate Naruto and Boruto, and they try to fit it into one show, and they're just complaining because it's not all about Naruto being Hokage. It's about Boruto wanting to be himself, wanting to be like Sasuke, wanting nothing to do with his father. And I feel like that's getting too much hate. But like I said, if Boruto was its own series alone and there was never no Naruto, I feel like it started people wouldn't complain as much.
No, I think people would definitely enjoy it a lot more if it wasn't trying to stack up against Naruto. And as much as people complain
Hmm.
about the filler, it's like, have you not watched like a good 600 episodes of Naruto? Because that is filler too.
That's where
There's
the
a lot of
nostalgic
filler.
that's where the nostalgic factor comes in, and where like you don't remember you only remember the good stuff in Naruto. You only remember the clips that you see on YouTube and TikTok, and you think, oh, all these fights are amazing. But like every like 1 out of 4 episodes was dog crap. Like there just nothing happened. It was just a bunch of talking and a bunch of traveling or whatever. And he didn't really get much. And so like Dustin, there's a lot that he skipped and he didn't even care to finish because there's just so much to the Naruto series.
Yep.
And Boruto starts off kind of the same. The only bad part that Boruto has about it is they're introducing technology and different, technology that can do special. Like you don't even have to use chakra basically at this point. And Dinky or whatever, his character really sucks. He's kind of annoying in the show, but overall, if you just get to like the main fights too in that series, or even the filler arc where you get into the where he gets teleported to the past and he meets Kid Naruto, that's really cool because you get to see more Jiraiya and stuff like that. So I think and you got to realize too, I don't know how the Naruto manga went or how far ahead they were, but the Boruto they weren't that far behind, so they had to do something. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking a weekly anime. There's a reason why Black Clover shut down. They had nothing to go off of anymore because
Yep.
they were just weekly. If you have a show that comes out once every year and a half and you have 12 episodes, of course those 12 episodes are going to be good. But in the same time, you get 300 episodes of Boruto. I mean, can you complain that hard if you're only watching a 22-minute episode? Like,
Right.
you, I don't know.
Well, and that is the thing is that with it like being that nonstop weekly deal, and
Hmm.
that kind of gets into a little bit of like the amount of arcs because there are arcs that were in the anime that I thoroughly enjoyed, and they are not in the manga whatsoever. And that's what a lot of people they complain about filler, but if there was not filler, you would get like nothing with Mitsuki. You would get nothing really with
Hmm.
Sadara. You would get nothing with any other character other than Boruto. Like the manga is super focused on him, and then eventually Kawaki comes into the picture, and then it's like basically Boruto and Kawaki, and
Yeah.
that's all the focus. Like you don't get anything with anybody else. Like I remember there was an arc where I think it was the Byakugan gang, and Shikadai was a big
Hmm.
part of that arc, and I
Hmm.
really enjoyed it because I'm a big Shikamaru fan. So it was really cool to see Shikadai, who's basically a clone, honestly. But
Yeah.
There's also the arc where you find out some of Mitsuki's history, and then also
Hmm.
I don't believe what their field trip to the Land of Mist was in the manga either.
There, honestly, there was so much that wasn't, because the manga just goes straight fight to fight with Jigen, and like, the only thing that I don't, there's a couple things that I did not like about the anime. So in the manga, I believe his Jogen or whatever it is, his eye that he has
Yeah,
was never in the manga. So that it was just an anime thing, and they've just not gone back to that. Now, like I said, I haven't watched the last, few months of Boruto because I just wanted it to build up, but they just never went back to it, and that became just kind of a strictly anime thing. And then another thing is just how Konohamaru just kind of, he's almost a joke.
that's what
Like,
I was gonna say earlier. Is I would have liked it so much better if he was more like the Kakashi of a sensei.
yeah, and he should have been, because
Yeah,
I mean he fought pain as a kid. Like, I understand Jiraiya fought five of them, can barely do it, couldn't do it. But he fought one of them, and just as a child he did good. So I don't know. They definitely have the inconsistencies of what they're trying to do with their characters. So their characters progressing in the show, they do a really bad job at it, other than making Boruto. It's like they just don't know what to do with these leftover characters. It almost looks like Boruto is one of those series where like it had its original producers and writers, and then a new show. So like the thing I can think of is like you had Bungie from the Halo series,
yeah,
like make Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, make all these good games, and then you get 343 Industries buying out Halo or taking over Halo, and then every game is just sucked after that. And
yeah.
like you have a little bit, like Halo Reach was a little fun, but you don't get that great feeling. And that's how I feel like Boruto sometimes has. But like I said, I like to separate Boruto from Naruto, and like the Boruto movie was one of my favorite Naruto generation movies, Naruto movies out there. I love that movie. And granted, the Naruto Sasuke versus the Atsutsuki, that was probably one of the best fights in anime. And so that was really cool to see. And of course, that's still talking about the older generation. But they just, I don't know. The tuning exams was kind of a letdown a little bit. It wasn't, so it's almost more kid friendly, it feels like.
Yeah, I definitely get that vibe in a lot of it.
So I love Kawaki's character
Oh yeah,
in that show. He's that Sasuke. They had to bring that kind of style character in, and I really like where his character. They did an awesome backstory job with him and what they're trying to do with Jigen and stuff. I think his is one of the coolest stories in that show. Because everyone else lives in this peaceful village and have never had any hard times. So.
that is another kind of complaint about the anime to me is they keep talking about how like the kids these days aren't as good as the former generation because they haven't like they're in peacetime and all this stuff. Man, I see those kids bust out some jutsus that I don't remember any of the Naruto gen kids being able to pull half the time.
No, and yeah, that's why.
Like Kawabe making a giant earth wall to block off an entire group of kids getting into the building and stuff like that.
Right,
Like,
as a child, all
yeah.
those other ones, they were huge, they were all 15, 16 teenagers, and they struggled. A lot of them had chakra issues. And,
Hmm.
Naruto's the only one that could really hold his weight even without using any of the nine tails. I mean, huge amount of chakra. So, and I don't know if that's just because his clan or whatnot, but I mean, he could still hold without even using any of the nine tails farther than Sasuke could.
Yep. And I think a
So.
lot of people don't even remember that it wasn't just because of the Nine Tails,
Mhm.
as to why he had so much. But when I was looking at the amount, do you know how many arcs there are in the manga? There are
Uh,
5.
yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna guess like four.
Okay. Do you want to know the anime?
10.
23.
Holy crap!
Yep. So, and I
I
was
guess you can
going
count those
through,
little ones.
yeah, and I was going through, I went off of their Naruto like wiki page.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so looking at the arcs, all 4 of the 5 that are in the manga are already in the anime. So they're
Yeah.
that close already to catching up again.
Yeah, no, and it's I mean, you don't get anything with Sarada. Like you don't get anything with her character. You know, she wants to be this Hokage, and you really don't see that in the manga. So the anime has to fill in the gaps, and they have to do it somehow. And how else are you going to do it when you have nothing to go off of? Filler,
Exactly.
like so.
Well,
You're
and
just lucky that
what's
we.
cool is in the latest chapter, slight
Mhm.
spoiler for you, is you actually see a moment where Sadara is talking to Mitsuki saying, "Man, I feel like we haven't done anything lately. Like we need to step up and be more of a help to
Yeah,
Boruto."
yeah. No, I It's so funny. I think Boruto would do an awesome job if they had like flash forwards. I don't know if that's really the word to use, but like how they had that when the show first came off, you have Boruto as like this um someone that seemed like he was like this avenger, like he was like outside the village and he was trying to save the seventh Hokage or what he was doing, but he's this older teenager that looks like he's just doing his own thing and I don't know exactly what he's trying to do.
Again, I think didn't
But
he have like Sasuke's sword in that as well?
yeah, he had a sword. He has a huge, scar on his eye. I'm pretty sure he has his curse mark, and that was really cool. If you could get bits and pieces of that and then build up, they could have done that so well. And so yeah, they've dropped the ball a lot
Well,
on this
especially
stuff.
because like how many episodes has it been, and we've only seen one flash forward to that, and then it's like never again.
Yeah, so I think there was a thing where like they were gonna go away from that. Like it was just kind of like they put it in there and then they regret kind of putting it in there because how far are we 10 years away from that?
Yeah, I
Like
don't know.
is it ever actually going to happen? So I don't know. I really do like the villains that they've put in to Boruto. I think Jigen and everyone around his society there, his clan or whatever we want to call it. I think it's really cool. Like Code is really cool.
Have they hit
Can't,
code in the anime yet?
yeah, I think
Have
at
they? Okay,
parts. Yeah,
because he's really cool in the
um
manga.
Yeah, yeah, he's in the anime for sure. But that's why I said the anime doesn't have much to go off of right now. So um there could be a hiatus here in the near future. I don't know. We're all waiting for a time skip because I think a lot of people are waiting for that ship it in kind of feel
Yep.
um to see what happens. So I think that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know. What are some of the things you want to talk about here? The differences between the manga and the anime. Is there anything else?
So I think honestly, most of the differences are covered in the fact of the fillers, but there are some other stuff that are different. One of the fillers that you've talked about that I haven't seen yet is the whole going back in time. You've shown me clips from
Mhm.
that, and man, that hit you hard in the feels.
Yeah, so I believe it's been a while, but you have an Atsutsuki member that is trying to kill Naruto. So what his objective is to kill Naruto before he becomes Hokage when he's like a kid. And so he uses basically Boruto has to use and Sasuke have to use this kind of turtle to go back in time and try to stop basically like the assassination. Um and so they go back in time and you get to see all the characters back in the past, which is really cool. You get to see Neji. So Boruto gets to meet his uncle, which is kind of cool. And then, Neji doesn't know it. None of them are going to know it or whatever, but Boruto knows it. And so that's what's kind of cool. It was almost one of those fillers that you have to watch because it's just so cool to see him back. So the only thing I didn't like a bit about it is Naruto's eyes looked like they were so far spaced out. So you gotta watch it to see it. But I mean, you get a little bit more Jiraiya, basically the beginning of Jiraiya and Naruto before Naruto can control any part of the Nine Tails or anything. So and then, huh?
That's why I really got to watch it. It has my boy in it.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. And then you get basically a fight with Naruto. You get Boruto and Naruto talking to themselves, and it's kind of funny because you get a part where Naruto asks about Boruto's dad. And so Boruto's like, "Oh, my dad's, he's busy with the village. All he cares about is the village and all this other stuff." And Naruto's like, "Wow, your dad, he sure sounds like a piece of work." But he's like, "You're lucky you have a dad." And Boruto's like, "Damn." like yeah, I do. He's like even though you kind of dog on him so much, he says you must really love your father. Like one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. And then you get to see the brilliance of Jiraiya. You get to see that, like, I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to kind of tell because Sasuke looks kind of the same, but Jiraiya figures out that it's actually Sasuke. Like, he's like, "Are you Sasuke Uchiha?" Like, and Sasuke's this grown ass adult, so it's kind of cool. And basically, Sasuke has to wipe the memories of everybody before they leave, so that it doesn't change the future. But it's just kind of cool you get that. So therefore, a glimpse, Jiraiya kind of gets that sense of feel that Naruto did it, like Naruto succeeded. So it kind of gives you that like, oh man, Jiraiya never got to see Naruto. And this is kind of maybe my own opinion, but it kind of makes sense. You get Jiraiya, you never get him seeing the end of Naruto. You never see him be Naruto become Hokage or anything like that. But I feel like if he knows that Sasuke was okay and Naruto's whole journey was to bring Sasuke back and to be back with the village, you kind of know Jiraiya is probably like, you know, Naruto accomplished kind of what he's going for. So
Yeah, for sure. That sounds really sweet and nice.
yeah, so yeah, you gotta watch that.
I
But
do.
they do a cool part with the Gigan fight. You get Kashin Koji, which everyone he kind of looks like Jiraiya, so everyone's like all freaking out, like, oh my god, is he alive? Is he the stuff? And if I'm spoiling anything, I'm sorry, but you gotta watch Boruto. Just watch it. But you get Kashin Koji, which is basically the DNA and the clone of Jiraiya. And so you get a little bit of him in the manga. Some stuff happens. I know he's in the anime now. I've seen that fight. Really, really good fight. You get Kashin Koji versus Jigen, and um, Kashin Koji just barely survives. And I haven't read the manga lately, so I just know he's alive, but you don't know what happens.
Yeah, he's
So
still not in the newest chapter. Like he
yeah,
has been gone for a while.
yep, and Kashin Koji's able to get in and out of Konoha. He's able, he uses the same techniques as Jiraiya, so it's just really cool. You really want to see that Naruto meet up with Kashin Koji, and maybe he has. I don't think he has the memories because he doesn't really remember. He doesn't know anything, but he just knows that he has a tie with that village. So it'd be kind of cool to see what they can come out of that. It has a lot of good future points. It just freaking get there already. Like that's the only hard. That's the only hard.
Well, I think the biggest problem is that it comes out once a month. So I feel
Hmm.
like the story's getting drug out. Like we could be so much farther with it and have so many more answers, but since it only gets dropped once a month, it feels like it's taken forever. But
Yeah, I don't know. Content is content. It's really nice being able to sit there and get 45 pages worth of manga to read rather than when you go to My Hero and you get 9 or 10 pages and you're like, oh, well, nothing happened.
yeah,
And so at least something happens every single month. Um, I just I just wonder if they started the anime series a little too soon. Because they have nothing to go off of. So if you can dog on it for that, just remember back in the 90s and 2000s, all it was, every show was filler because every show was a weekly show. And you didn't, I don't know, they had so much they were able to kind of go off of. Now you get shows like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu where it's badass content all the time. It's hard for Boruto to compete.
yeah, for sure. And I think it just comes down to your preferences. Like me personally, I don't mind filler to an extent because you do get that
Hmm.
extra from all the side characters that if we didn't get filler in Naruto, I probably wouldn't have liked, Kiba or Shikamaru nearly as much as I do.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how bright of a future it's got, but I think once they can do the time skip, I think that's their next jump start to being able to kind of do some cool things with that because it definitely needs to compete. But Naruto's not going anywhere. It's so popular everywhere that they'll do some stuff with it. So
Yeah, for sure. But that's about all I got for Boruto anime manga type of stuff.
yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying is give it a chance. Don't skip it because you hear all this negative talk about it. Give it a chance and see for yourself. If you enjoyed Naruto, like you honestly enjoyed Naruto, even the filler episodes, you like that extra content from side characters, then I don't see
Mhm.
why you wouldn't really like Boruto in that same aspect.
You don't even gotta watch the anime. If you want to find an anime that you've been wanting to like read manga, you wanted to start getting into manga, download the Shonen Jump app and just that's one that you can start, and it's actually really good.
Yeah,
So,
I actually
um,
haven't been watching the anime. I read the manga. I'm current on the manga, and like Tyler said, that Shonen Jump app, it's $2 a month, and you can read as much manga as you want.
yeah, it's very fluent, very easy to control. So it's kind of cool. You're late night in bed, you know, catch up on anything that you've just not, I don't know, you're too scared to just start. Anime wise, start it in the manga. It's a lot of the times manga is way better. So, especially for like Promise Neverland.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole again.
So, all right, so we have a review.
Yes, we do, and
Um,
Tyler's leading it.
yeah, so we're only doing kind of our one topic today. We'll figure something out for next week. We wanted to try to do a little bit shorter, but we're still able to talk quite a bit, so that's kind of nice. But so our review is Skeleton Knight from Another World. You can catch this on Crunchyroll. It has 12 episodes. Synopsis for this show. I believe all the episodes should be in English by now. If not, it's just 11. Um, but voice actor's pretty good. The main character is his name is Ark. He's kind of a new voice actor. You haven't really heard too much from him. The other ones, there really isn't too many popular. There's a character named I think like Donka in here. He is the voice of Todoroki. You get Fumba, which he is the villain of the story. He is voice actor. He does the voice of Magna from Black Clover. So that's kind of cool. You get a little bit familiar voices. He does actually a really good job with it. Because he has that villain voice. He really does. And so the review for Skeleton Knight from Another World is upon waking, an unnamed gamer finds himself in the avatar body, in armor. Let me go through this here. Armor that he was using in his online game. Seeing his reflection in a river, he is shocked to discover that his appearance is that of a skeleton due to the special avatar skin. In unfamiliar territory, the gamer decides that it would be best to hide his appearance by never removing his helmet. Ark has to find a place for himself in this new fantastical land. All of his hopes for a quiet life are dashed when he crosses paths with a beautiful elven warrior, setting him on a journey full of conflict and adventure. So like I said, it's 12 episodes and it actually gets into the anime really quick. Like there's not a lot of backstory of why he's in this. Um, but he literally starts off where he like gets summoned to this world. He sees two girls that are kind of being taken, two elf girls that are being taken from these bandits, and they kind of he that's where his story starts. So besides that, you kind of get characters. You get Ark. He's the main one. He literally has this skeleton appearance. Like he's just a pure skeleton bones. He's I don't know exactly, but he says he made his character's path to that he has a curse.
Yeah,
And
that was
he's
like
meant to.
headcanon for himself, and it ended up being canon
Yeah.
for the actual
He-
like when he got isekai'd.
yeah, and so his whole objective that he tells everyone is he's cursed, and he his objective is to find a way to break this curse to get his normal body back. But I don't think that the anime did not start where he was like this normal person and he got sucked in, so that was a little bit different take. You didn't get that Rise of the Shield hero right away. You didn't get like that Sword Art Online where like you see who they are. And then you get the elf girl. I always forget how to say her name. Um,
Arion.
Arion. Arion, and she's literally that like that beautiful Asuna kind of character, just kind of very you can literally grab onto those kind of characters and like them. They're very easy to kind of root for. And then you get Chiome, she's like this furry ninja. So
Cat
she's kind of
ears
a
in the
cool,
tail.
yeah, she's kind of a cool character, and she's kind of like the savior and relief at some of the points throughout the show. Um, you get Fumba. He's like this kind of like this almost like Dark Lord kind of presence feeling. He's like the main villain. He is literally um kind of can control these beasts to where he's kind of ruining the lands and making it his own. And you can kind of get into that if you see it. There's a little bit of spoilers in that, but just kind of tell you what you're you're kind of prepared for when you kind of watch this show because it is super easy to watch. The intro I watched all 12 times.
It
I
was a good
love
intro.
I love that intro. Other than that, what do you have to say on it?
So it like for spoiler free, this is your basic isekai. Like they don't deviate much from like kind of your basic isekai kind of script. My honestly only complaint, which I'll go more in depth later, is the fact that honestly I don't think it had to be an isekai. Like
Yeah.
it really didn't need to be, and they made it one anyway, which it's whatever. Still super enjoyable. It's supposed to be set up like a video game, but you don't see any like leveling or anything like that. It's just you
No.
see them use abilities. This is a fun watch. It's an easy watch, it's an easy binge. Great intro, decent outro, lovable
Hmm.
characters that you can grab onto like instantly. Like Arc, he's
Hmm.
hilarious. I like Arc.
Yeah, he's really funny. He really is. They they do a good job with his character, but you just wish you had more of his past of who he was before and how he kind of got into that world. Because, like you said, they have all these abilities, but he just knows how to do it.
Yep.
Like they don't explain. There's no start menu. There's no ability list or level progression. He's OP.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is definitely a little different in the fact that he starts off just extremely overpowered.
yeah.
But it's definitely worth watching. So spoiler free, go give it a watch. Come back, listen for the spoiler section. If that's what you like to do, it's it's worth it.
Yeah. Dustin even mentioned Ponta, so I'm surprised.
Oh no, I'm saving Ponta.
So
You
all
don't
right,
get to
that was
know
yours.
Ponta until you watch it.
Yeah, so that was your spoiler free reaction. So going into spoilers, is there anything in this anime that like I don't know, you wish they did better or that you saw within the first season?
Yeah, so like I said, I think honestly the thing I wish they did better was give me a reason why this has to be an isekai. Because I feel like you could have gotten the same result if he would have been like lost his memory or something and he was just a part of this fantasy world and he was in a skeleton body and he had to figure out why. Like they didn't
Yeah,
need
like
to make it an
there's no
isekai.
why.
The
There's
one
there's there's no reason for this story.
I know, and
In reality.
that's why I like what I wish there was more. I wish there was like you know you just you don't know like most isekais like they die they go into a game. Sword art they get trapped into the video game. Shield hero he opens the book and he's summoned into a world because
Mm-hmm.
these people are summoned basically from this multiverse version of Japan, and that's how Shield hero is. And with
Shield Hero
this
is the best. Shield Hero does the best
they do.
with explaining because it's basically they're there to stop the waves of monsters to destroying the homeland and he has an objective. Ark is just this traveler. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, so I think like that's what I would like if, for it to be better, but at the same time, like I feel like I'm nitpicking and I'm gonna be back and forth a little
Mhm.
bit because at the same time I don't mind it because since he doesn't have that objective, it just feels like this kind of like funny, just go with
Mhm.
the flow, whatever happens happens type of story, which is completely fine. And then I think at the end of season one, you get kind of that okay, now next season's gonna like really ramp up on the bad craps happening type of deal.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there's a lot more to this. So even nitpicking on a first season anime is kind of unfair. But if you so when you first start this show, if like you're listening to this review just to kind of get a really good idea before you watch it, get past the first 30 seconds because the first 30 seconds is very sexualized. So that makes you feel like that's going to be the entire anime, and then it kind of dies down a little bit. I
I don't
mean,
think
they
it really
have
touches that like hardly at all after
no,
one
they
more
they
time
have
maybe.
other than the skeleton in the bath and she comes in there's that there's Fumba when um Ariana or whatever meets he's just like obsessed with her because she's a dark elf and he's just checking her out and so that's like kind of the only thing that it really sexualizes throughout the 12 episodes but that first 30 seconds it makes you feel like oh god it's one of those shows you have these prisoner elves on the ground, and they're literally just almost like half naked, getting almost raped.
Yep.
And so,
It's definitely like an uncomfortable watch for that first like 30 seconds.
yeah. So if lock your door for the first 30 seconds, so that way you don't get caught. But then after that, you're fine.
Yeah, and like it doesn't even go that far, but it is like it makes you unsettled for that first little bit. But honestly, that wasn't even as bad as like Goblin Slayer did it. Like
Yeah,
the
there's
way
way
Goblin
worse.
said it
There's
was
way worse.
way
So
worse than this. Or like
yeah.
even in I think of Sword Art Online season 3, they had that one that was like pretty flipping bad.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see what they do with the future of this one. I haven't read any manga for this. I haven't done any of that, and I don't really plan to. But maybe I'm. This is another one of those shows that I don't mind just seeing the anime when it comes out and going from that story from there. Because so we'll see how popular it gets. Main character is really cool, but it's one of those you can't really grab onto him too much because he's just a skeleton. But the other characters kind of do that part for you. Ponta especially. So
Ponta's adorable. So Ponta's that little green fox dude, and
yeah, he's
it's
a
like
spirit. He's
so
basically
good.
spirit monster, spirit animal.
Yep.
And they have a hard time. Spirits have trust issues, like really are trust issues. So for him to grab onto Ark the way he looks, and just that they're bonding, it's perfect. He's literally his own Pikachu Pokemon, whatever you want to call it.
I
That's what
think one
Ponta
of the
is.
best parts was when he leaves and she the whole time is trying to like hide the fact that she's just like in love with Ponta because he's so cute. And then Arg
Mhm.
leaves for a minute and he comes back and she's like nuzzling him like with like putting her face like in his fur and like rubbing and Arg standing there and she's like, oh no. And he's like, I want to do that with Ponta too. It's like
Yeah,
what?
no, that's I love this anime, and it's funny how she like catches feelings for Ark, and
Yep.
even though he's just a skeleton, so it just kind of beyond looks and stuff like that, you can still grab onto the personality of someone, and it kind of shows that. And she's just like this beautiful warrior, and all the elves and everyone's obsessed with her, how she looks and who she is, but she's like falling for this person that is just basically he's the savior and he's doing everything he can, but that's how she's falling for him and stuff. So it's funny how they kind of bring that in, and she's too shy, like they always are.
Oh
But
yeah. Well, and they also have that aspect that it's a race deal, like because in this world elves are looked so like down on. Humans elves
mhm,
don't really coexist very well. So when she first meets him, she has a very negative view on him because she
mhm.
like thinks he's human, and he calls himself human basically,
Yeah,
but he is like a skeleton deal. But the fact that he shows her kindness and then he shows
mhm,
the beast people kindness and all this, like
right.
he's really likable. And that was another character that I really liked was the beast guy, a Goemon.
Hmm.
Him and Ark every time, like the
They're
first time they
funny
see each
together.
other, they look all angry and then they like lock hands and they're like trying to show who's stronger. And then they just like
Mhm.
laugh and like clap each other on the back. Like they're flipping
Yeah,
great together.
yeah. So a thing that I wanted to start doing is, what do you want to see in season two?
Ooh, okay. So what I would like to see in season 2 is I want to see the kind of like the main bad pick up a little bit because in this season, you just got like bits and pieces. You never really got much of
You got it
the
towards the
main
end.
villain. Yeah, you got it at the end, and that was about it. So I want to see more of that because I want to see what the motivations are from this other
Hmm.
capital. And also I would really like just some more background on Ark himself, like how he got there.
Right,
Like I'd like
right.
I don't need it, but I feel like it would be nice to know why he's there. Like if we got any type of explanation, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I think what I'd look forward to is like if there was anyone else that got teleported to that world. I
Oh,
I
okay.
wonder I wonder why he would be the only one, and if this is actually real. I understand he's in a video game, but can this go outside of the realm of just being a video game? Is this actually something where he's going to be stuck in for the rest of his life?
Well, they
Um,
did drop the fact that somebody 300 years ago was same from the same country basically and started ninjas. So
okay,
there
so
has been somebody that has gone there in the past before,
So
because
I
they
would, yep.
used names from Japanese like culture to name his top ninjas, lieutenants, and stuff.
See, I feel like it's gonna be one of those where where Sword Art Online kind of went with the Alicization, like with the main villains are from the real world. I wonder if
Okay.
this will kind of go on the same concept because like all these anime shows kind of take from each other,
Hmm.
which is fine because we're getting so many. Um, but I'm curious to see what they kind of do. I feel like Ponta could get bigger. I feel like he could change maybe. I don't
That
know.
would be cool.
So yeah, I think there's some things with Ponta that maybe he has some abilities that we don't know. Maybe there's some things with these spirits because like why are they there? Why are they so like almost like they make them feel like godlike? Like they're just so you know they use the bird basically to talk to communication fast travel. So they use these spirits quite a bit. So I want to see some other spirits. I want to see um just some more villains and stuff and see where it goes. So, but that's kind of all I got. Do you have a rating for season one?
Yeah, so I've watched so many good animes lately that I'm scared to give this too high of a rating because I feel like we gotta have more spread out scale because at this point
Room to
everything's,
growth.
yeah, it's hurting the growth of like how great some are because it's like I don't want to give everything a 10, and I don't want to
Hmm.
give everything a bad rating. I feel like for me this was better than Tower of God for sure.
Easy. Oh, it was easy.
So like that,
Easily
but it's
better.
not as good as like Demon Slayer. It's not as good as some of the other shows we have reviewed. So I'm gonna put it right about a, I don't know, 7.5.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
definitely want more on it, but it was very simple. Like the story, there was just like there wasn't enough of it, and I'm excited for season two. I want to
Hmm.
watch it, but because I felt like season one lacked in a few departments, I don't want to give it too high of a rating. So maybe season two can blow me away and it can jump to a 9.
Yeah. So yeah, I was gonna give it an 8.5 just for the fact that I enjoyed all 12 episodes. So if I enjoyed all 12 episodes, I what am I to hate? It's so that's in the middle of eight. So it's an eight where I feel like that gives enough room to become a way better anime, and
Hmm.
then eight can go down to
Really
well,
crappy.
they screwed up season two, So
Yep.
I want to put it higher than Tower of God. I want to put it
Mhm.
below Your Name. I want to put it below like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Black Clover, because it's not mainstream. It's not as popular yet. So let's see what season two. I think it's lower than Rise of the Shield Hero.
Yeah,
Um, but I think it can get there.
I think so too, and I think 8 is fair because, like you mentioned, like in all 12 episodes, I didn't like consider that fact, but I did enjoy every episode. Like this was a super easy binge for me, and if I can binge 12 episodes easy,
Yeah, that's
it's a good
hmm
show.
yeah. So it's and we're only nitpicking because
We have to.
we enjoy it so much. Yeah, we're nitpicking not because we didn't like it, but because we're pointing out the things that maybe some people know what the hot topics will probably be about it. So we like to nitpick the best things because we just are so critical about want it to be a good anime. We want it to be something, you want animes to become, posters in your room, figures in your stand, tattoos on your skin.
Yep.
And and when you can critique an anime that you like, it becomes kind of near and dear to your heart. So you want it to just be as good as possible. So
Yeah, and also, if anyone here ever tries to review animes weekly, you almost have to like nitpick because otherwise, like like before we did this show, it was just like, oh hey, watch this anime. It was really good, and that's all we really talked about it. We didn't really get into giving it a
yeah.
grading or comparing it to another show. We're like, hey, I really enjoyed this. Watch it. And that's basically what we're doing here, but we're trying to be a little more critical so we can give it a rating to give people kind of a scale on like, oh, this was as good as this, but not quite as good as this, or it was better
Right.
than the show that I thought was decent, so I should like this one.
Yeah. So if you think we're being too critical on stuff, it's just because we're reviewing it, not because we didn't like it. Same
Yeah,
with Boruto. We got to throw all those points out because those are the things you're going to see online. And then when you see that stuff, it's going to make it to where you don't want to watch it. But if you get somebody that can give a show an eight, but critique it, it's a true feeling of what that show actually is.
yeah, for sure.
Um, so that's all I got kind of this week. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think that pretty much covers our week. We said we were going to try to make it a quick episode, and Tyler lied to you all. It is not a quick episode. I'm showing on
No.
my recording we're hitting that hour mark already. So
Yeah, we always do. And we didn't even talk about the Hydra and everything that he fought in the last
no, we
episode.
did
But
not.
so we really didn't get into what was the end of that show, but don't want to ruin everything for you. So just go out, try it. It's literally one of those that I don't think you'll have too much of a problem with. It's pretty easy to watch. So
Yep.
yeah, so to hit our hour mark like we normally do, I will sign out from there.
Yeah, so hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, What in the Anime. Look for us wherever you get podcasts and YouTube. We also post the videos up after the fact. Just email us, whatintheanime.podcast@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think on these shows. Thank you.
Right. Yep.
Bye.
See you next week.